Warning, while this video may seem like I'm going off on a rant because some people told me reptiles make stupid, useless, terrible pets, I do touch base on some valid points and I feel like I do get my point across. Stay tuned. YouTube, what's going on? It's J&A Exotics and we're back with another video. So today I have one question for all of you watching. What makes a pet a good pet? Think about it. So, is this a good pet? Is this a good pet because she's kind of crazy sometimes? Or is this a good pet? Please don't tell my wife I brought this inside the house. Or is this a good pet? And yes, I washed my hands in between handling the chicken and the bearded dragon. Out of all of these pets that I just showed, what makes them good pets? Because a lot of people argue that reptiles, like this bearded dragon right here, don't make good pets, and they could not be more wrong. People are going to use the excuses that their care is too extensive, that their diets are too diverse, that their enclosures are far too big, and they're afraid of getting bit. So I'm going to break those excuses down into categories, and I'm going to show everybody on how all of those categories I just listed literally relate to any of the animals that I just showed on the screen. So, let's jump into it. So I was going to put the bearded dragon back in her enclosure, but she didn't want to go in right now, so for the time being, I'm going to look like the store brand of Wiccan's Wicked Reptiles. So to start with, we're going to be talking about care. And it doesn't matter what you own. This is just going to be general care. Because it doesn't matter if you own a dog, a cat, a fish, a lizard, a bird, a mongoose. It doesn't matter. You're going to have to care for it to some extent. So obviously when it comes to caring for a reptile, obviously it depends on the species. For example, this bearded dragon right here, its care needs are going to be far different than the care of a crested gecko. But you're going to know that because hopefully you were a responsible individual and you did research before you ended up buying them. But as far as it goes with a bearded dragon, these guys are bulletproof, and as long as you provide them with the right heat, the right humidity, the right size enclosure, the right diet, and you give them water, they're going to survive, and they're going to thrive for many years, and they become a part of your family, just like every other pet. But in many cases, a bearded dragon like this, it's going to be a better pet choice than a dog, or a cat, or chickens. You know how much land you need for chickens? The pen that you need for them is huge. Let's take the dog I showed you guys at the beginning of the video. That was our puppy Mabel. She's a little over a year now, but that dog is nothing but energy. And if she doesn't get her energy out, she's going to terrorize the entire house. So it doesn't matter if it's snowing, sleet, rain, she has to go outside and at least go for a walk or play, or if not, she's going to chew the couch cushions, she's going to chew the rug, she's going to run around the entire house with her slippers, and she doesn't stop. Yes, of course, we do tell her no, and we're working with her. Again, she's still young, but she's very stubborn and thick-headed, and to train that dog is far harder than owning a bearded dragon. Now, this bearded dragon, you don't have to take it outside to go to the bathroom. You don't have to take it on walks. You don't have to let it get its energy out outside. You can take it outside if you choose to do so on a nice warm sunny day. Natural UVB rays can be beneficial for them, but for the most part, they're going to be completely content. She wants to go back inside their enclosures. Now, if you ask me, taking care of this specific reptile is far more easier than taking care of a dog. Now, a lot of people will argue that when it comes to owning a reptile, their enclosures, like this guy right here, are just far too big to be inside of a house. But let's take the dog again, for example. If you're training the dog to not pee inside of the house, you're going to use a crate or you're going to use a pen. Now, when you go to work, you're not going to leave the puppy running around your house, destroying your furniture, peeing and pooping all over the place. So it doesn't matter if you use a crate or a pen, but again, depending on the species of the dog, it's going to determine the size of this crate or pen. Now, our other two dogs, they're house trained, so they can be out and we trust them completely. They don't need anything special. So Mabel is the only one that's in a crate right now. When we go to work, when we're home, she's out. Now, Mabel's crate, it's far bigger than my bearded dragon's enclosure because she's obviously a bigger puppy and we want her to have room and feel comfortable. Now, even cats take up some space inside of your house. Let's start with the litter box, for example. Obviously, you're going to need a litter box inside the house so the cats can do their business because nobody wants cat pee anywhere. That smell is rancid. But I guarantee you that litter box is bigger than a 12 by 12 by 18 enclosure, width and lengthwise, not necessarily height. Now, another thing cats are going to need are scratching posts throughout the house. Cats need to knead their nails into stuff, and if they don't have a scratching post, they're going to make their own. They're going to scratch your walls, they're going to scratch your curtains, your rugs, your couches, your window screens, and they're just going to make a mess of your entire house. Hey, Guess what? You know who's not going to scratch your couch or your curtains or your rugs? The spirited dragon right here. Now, it doesn't matter what animal you own, whether it be a chicken, cat, dog, reptile, everything is going to have its own diverse diet. Now, reptiles that are insectivores, they're going to eat things like crickets, locusts, waxworms, mealworms, horned worms, etc. The list goes on and on for feeder insects. But then, if you don't want to have insects inside of your house, there's also an option for you. You can get things like some of the new Caledonian geckos, crested geckos, gargoyle geckos, Leachianus geckos, chahuas. All these guys are going to eat a powdered-based diet. Now, making these powdered-based diets are fairly easy. You get a bowl, put some water in it, take some powder, mix in the right amount, mix it up with a spoon, you give it to your gecko in a little dish, and you're done for 2 days. Now, we love our Australian Shepherd to death. He's our baby boy, but he has to have this special diet, sensitive skin and stomach, because he is allergic to most of the foods out on the market. With that being said, I've never met a crested gecko allergic to crested gecko diet. The points I'm getting at so far is every animal, every species has their own challenges. So another excuse why people say reptiles are a bad pet is because they bite. Do they bite? And can they bite? Yeah, of course they can. But so can't anything else. I have to worry about my rooster attacking me every time I go in there to put the chickens away and to feed them and change their water every single day. You have a better chance of getting bit by my dog Mabel by trying to take a bone or a ball away from her than you do that bearded dragon. Now, there are usually signs before a reptile bites, and it's going to be their body behavior. And you're going to be able to see the way that this animal is acting, and you're going to say, hey, maybe I shouldn't bother this animal right now. Even though these reptiles are domesticated, they are still instinctive, so it's just a defense mechanism. It's like if something was to go eat it in the wild, it's not going to go down without a fight, so it's going to try to scare its predator off. I cannot stress enough that these creatures are not out to harm you. They don't want to bite you. They don't want to waste their time and energy and get stressed out. Stress isn't good for them, but they're just defending themselves because you're not recognizing the signs. Many reptiles with frequent handling attempts and simple routine maintenance every day, being face to face with them, they warm right up to you. So this right here is going to be a bonus for you guys. This wasn't a category, but I just thought of it. And people will use the excuse that reptiles carry salmonella. Can reptiles actually carry salmonella? Yeah, that's true. That's 100% true. They can. Should you wash your hands after handling any reptile, touching their supplies, touching anything within their enclosure, cleaning their enclosure? Yes, absolutely. Why would you go about taking unnecessary risks? But you're meaning to tell me nobody washes their hands after they pet their dog or play with their dog outside, after they pet their cat, after they touch a farm animal? I do. When your dog's outside rolling around in that grass, just remember, rabbits poop there, squirrels poop there, birds poop there, mice poop there. It's dirty. There's germs out there. There is a potential to have nasty germs on your hand after petting your dog when he's been running around outside. Now, should you wash your dogs if they're dirty? Yeah, of course. Now, I guarantee you, when you were out in the yard with your dogs one day, they rolled around in something that you had no idea that they did. And you pet them and you gave them hugs, and that's on your hands. Just remember that. Now, with that being said, all animals carry germs. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what type of animal you own. Each pet is going to have different behaviors and care needs from one another. To people in the reptile hobby, these animals provide the same companionship as a dog would to any other person. If the animal provides you with happiness and you love taking care of it every single day, it is a good pet despite what other people's opinions are. So there you guys have it. That is my reasoning for why reptiles make just as good of pets as anything else that I listed here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, smash that subscribe button, hit the like button, drop a comment down below. Let me know if you agree with me or not. And I'll see you all in the next one.